Order Chinese food and grab your sex doll, because we watched Love Object. What's up, nerds? This is Nerds vs. Evil, and we were blessed to watch the movie Love Object. It was Amber's pick. It was, in my opinion, it's the worst movie we'd had to watch so far. But let me introduce my panel of co-hosts here. To my left is my dad, Ken. And next to him is my lovely wife, Amber.
Hello. Yelling at my kids.
And then there's the Halloween guy, my brother, John.
What's up, everyone?
And Cornhole Champion.
Yeah.
And then the man to my right, the only other person I know to own a sex doll, Chris Martin.
Whoa. I've never owned a sex doll. That's funny you say that because Nicole asked me when we were watching it.
Nikki?
Have you ever had a sex doll? And Mom, no. Why would you think that?
and I'm your co-host, Jason. So real quick, guys, let's go around. What did you guys think of it? We'll start with Dad, and we'll go around.
God, you're killing me. Yeah, the movie definitely got off to a very slow start for about 65 minutes. And then the last 15 minutes, it actually, the story kind of developed, and that it actually got a little suspenseful. And it had a twist that we'll talk about later. So it actually, if you could survive the first 65 minutes and catch the last 15, then at least you have something you can talk about.
Okay, Amber, what'd you think?
I fell asleep.
Yeah, what else
As per usual.
That's the theme.
Yep, she has yet to make it through a full movie.
This is my Phantom Challenge, I'll tell you.
Phantom Challenge. Definitely a Phantom Challenge movie.
Yes, this was.
I mean, this isn't a movie that was new to me. I saw it like back when I was like 16 years old and shouldn't have been watching movies like that. But I think it still rings true. It was goofy.
So that's where your love of bondage comes from.
Okay, you know what? No comment.
All right, Bub, what did you think?
So instantly, I'm getting major American Psycho vibes from this guy. And I even had to look it up to see if this was before American Psycho. And no, this came after. So I'm like, oh, they definitely pulled a lot from American Psycho. But yes, I know.
Dubs is excited.
I would say for sure this one felt like the creepiest one out of everything we've watched so far. Like it wasn't like funny. It wasn't like the slapstick that we were kind of watching before. It actually made me feel very uncomfortable. So that was creepy.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
So I mean, there's plenty of times where I'm watching. I'm like, man, this type of shit could actually be happening.
Right.
And
I had to watch it with your brother and his wife.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nudity everywhere. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I thought like the underlying concept of it was very terrifying. Like this creepy stalker dude, and I mean, I kind of had an idea of what was going to happen there towards the end about her finding out about it and all that. I didn't see that twist coming until like really towards the end. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed that twist. I thought it was pretty cool. It almost make me wish that there was more, like a sequel. But
yeah, it's almost like M. Night Shyamalan should take a fucking page out of this movie's book for this twist.
The last 15 minutes.
So, all right, Chris, what about you?
I mean, I need to take a look at my life because I didn't think that was creepy at all. Because
Are you building
I mean,
beams to dance with your doll in your living room?
No, I mean it was stupid. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all. It was terrible.
One might say
Could
kind
have
of
been
like Morbius, huh?
Morbius was better.
Somebody's gonna pick Morbius now.
I think the underlying theming of this is just like an instruction manual. This movie you could just throw away and leave it on 12 o'clock blinking.
Oh my God, that was great. I'm right there with Martin. I did not like this movie at all. It was very reminiscent to me as when I was watching Morbius. I was just like, could not get into it. I mean, the thing at the end was cool, I guess, but there's one thing that I do want to talk about that I just like. I absolutely loved, and it is at the end within the twist, and we'll talk about it later. But
okay, to interject for a moment. Well, we were watching this movie. I didn't look over at you, and you weren't going. Oh.
It's because I was taking notes.
You weren't doing any of that like you did in Morbius taking your hat off and scratching your head, and oh, it's just so bad. No, you laughed a couple times.
Amber, I'm gonna throw to you for your factoids. Are you ready? Amber's got some fun facts about this movie.
No comment.
Okay. A news anchor over here. So
if
the
they say
blurb
no sex
facts.
dolls were harmed during the making of this, that's bullshit because he hacked that thing up.
Yeah.
No, it's just some blurb facts. So this movie had $1 million budget. I think we discussed this last time.
That was to pay Rip Torn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. The majority of it was for Rip Torn. It made $4,492 in its opening weekend, with a total of a $6,028 box office.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And took 18 days to film it. And it has a 40% score on Rotten Tomato. I don't know how the hell that happened.
40 out of what?
40% out of 100%.
Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I was
And
telling
it
Chris,
was-
this movie is very well beloved, like a cult type following behind it.
Yeah. I
Really?
can
Yeah,
see
it's all,
that.
it's all
Yeah.
the freaks that are into sex dolls and like dancing with them and shit. There's 40%
No judgment.
of them
No
out
judgment.
Yeah, they never really fully tied in the whole like the birthmark thing or rash. Like, is that like
there. I never understood
basically
that. I
that
saw
was
it on
to-
multiple people.
was
That's
that
to indicate
identify
the people
other
that are a
perverts
part of
each
that.
other?
Yeah.
Like, oh hey, you're a pervert too. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
made
where
notes of that,
what is
too.
It? Where does it come from? Like, what is it?
Excessive
It's-
scratching.
It's the
Oh.
people. It's the people that are part of the community of making live people into the sex dolls. Anyway,
Okay.
last factoid is that the movie has won 5 awards and had 2 nominations. They got the nominated for Chainsaw Award for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress. They won International Critics Award and Premiere Award at the Gerardmer Film Festival. Then at the Malaga
Riveting.
International Week of Fantastic Cinema, he won Best Actor and Best Screenplay, and the winner of the Elmer Bernstein Award at the Woodstock Film Festival.
Sure
No one
wasn't
gives a shit.
All right,
It
guys,
was
let's dive into this and get this over with. So, a quick summary here. Kenneth was in love from the minute he took Nikki out of her box. Anatomically correct, complete with instructions, and 100% lifelike silicone. She was exactly as he had ordered. With his newfound love, Kenneth's once desolate and lonely life took a turn for the better, and everyone noticed, including Lisa. But spending more time with Lisa meant spending less time with Nikki, and it wasn't long before Kenneth realized that Nikki was a doll with some evil intentions. All right, so let's get into this. Wow, God, we have to go through this. Okay.
Do it fast, and then we'll talk about it.
God, this is already making my stomach hurt more.
I just feel like there was a lot of things going on in this movie where it was a lot of back and forth, and it was really unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like a lot of unnecessary stuff. And what was with the segues to different scenes with the scenes of the I-5 freeway? That was just like...
Oh, they showed that
non-stop.
like times. The exact same scene.
Non-stop.
Just to bring it back home and let you know that this is happening in your town.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's right. All right, guys. So the movie starts and we meet Kenneth, but we didn't find out his name for like the longest time. It seemed like I kept asking.
Right.
Rip
What's his
Torn
name?
finally calls him Kenneth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I guess I jumped around a lot, but just stop me if we need to talk about these little things. But so Kenneth works at a VCR company making and reviewing the instruction manuals and like perfecting them and then getting them printed out. No, that's wrong.
Just an
He
instruction
works
manual
at an
company.
instruction manual company.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
4 VCRs.
That was what he
No.
was working on at the moment. But
Okay. So
He's a tech writer for the company and eventually gets promoted.
okay. So Kenneth has the project. It's a big project about the VCR instruction manual. That's the big one that he's given. And Rip Torn, who is his boss, gives him a temp to help out. And that's the temp that he gets is, I put Lisa Bummer, but I think her name is Lisa Brunner.
No, it's Bummer. Bummer.
Yeah.
So they meet each
If you
other.
look close on one of the scenes, it's tattooed on her other titty.
I must not have written anything else down because the next note I have is after he meets Lisa, then it's like him back in his apartment building, and he hears his neighbor coming home with a girl, and he looks out the peephole to see his neighbor like fooling around with a girl, and then the neighbor takes the girl back to his house, and Kenneth goes and sits in his closet, which is next to his neighbor's bedroom, so he can listen to them have sex.
Where he has a chair already placed.
He has a chair already placed, yes.
basically, he's falling behind in his work due to sexual frustrations.
Yeah.
And his neighbor is very active.
His neighbor, I don't have the actor's name down, but he plays the rich guy from Ace Ventura 1 that has the pet shark.
Yes.
So there goes part of the budget too.
Yeah. So then the next day, Kenneth is at work. Like Bub said, he's sexually frustrated, and his buddy not his buddy, but one of his coworkers comes over and shows him a picture, and it's of a sex doll that looks hyper realistic, and they're talking about, oh, it's $10,000 for this sex doll, and
those two guys were actually pretty cool.
They're pretty funny. They're pretty funny too. So then after that, Kenneth is back home. Oh no, he's leaving the office, and he's in the back of the elevator, and Lisa's in the front, and there's this creepy moment where he's just like staring at her, like
at her earring.
Yeah, it's like it's really bizarre. So, and apparently he got all wound up after that because Kenneth visits a porno shop. And while he's in the porno shop, he's looking at all these things. He's not like perusing through. He's just standing in the middle of the store. He sees all these different things, and
He's overwhelmed.
yeah,
And all the moaning's going on, and then he fucking hits the dildos over. And wakes up at work.
yeah. So that's when his coworkers are looking for the Nikki doll, and they can't find the flyer for it. And that's when Kenneth has it, and he's like oogling it in his office. And that's when he goes home and starts to create his very own Nikki doll, and he makes it look like Lisa, his coworker.
But I think he did that not knowing. He hadn't met Lisa yet.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
did.
has. He's already met her a bunch of
He
times.
was fantasizing about her during every single question.
Mhm.
But we need to step back for a moment because the employee at the sex shop had the worst red burn marks all over his face, and he was
the elephant
disfigured.
man.
Yes. And there was a customer that walked in and had the same burn mark on his neck.
Yeah.
That's an important theme, and I'm making note of it.
Good.
And I hate to say it,
didn't
but I
have a note
feel
of it.
like even at this point with Lisa, I feel like he has a chance just from their
Oh, yeah.
introduction with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought
He-
I thought the first moment they met, they were gonna get down.
Yeah, he's not
He
acting
went the other direction.
creepy. He's not acting creepy
Yeah.
yet to her. It's more like
No, he just has zero emotion. He's just
Yeah, he never smiles.
the whole
He
time.
himself is a doll.
So
Yeah.
Ew.
then comes the next part, which I thought was very funny. His bank calls him and wants to confirm that he's overdrawing his count $10,750, and he says yes, and they're just okay with that.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. The bank is okay with him withdrawing $10,750 over his limit.
He's
'Cause he's
getting
getting
his
big
bonus,
bonus.
though.
Yeah,
His
he's
big bonus is coming.
and he
And
has
then
to
I
pay
love-
rent too.
He goes to his whiteboard, yes, and he puts overdrafted right under
Yeah.
rent is due.
Yep.
And volume 3 or 2. Can't remember.
So,
Way more important.
But yeah, it's definitely the irony of that. His big bonus is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sex doll.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next scene, we get like a 50s delivery man showing up to drop off this crate in front of Kenneth's house. This scene,
Who has a red burn mark on his hand?
Yeah.
this scene was hilarious.
It's a refrigerator.
Yeah, all his neighbors show up when he's trying to get this crate inside of his room, which there's no way in hell. The door's too small, so he can't like push it in. And one of his neighbors, he goes, "What is that?" And he says, "It's a refrigerator." And then when they can't get the crate through the door, he goes, the neighbor suggests, "Oh, just go get a screwdriver and a crowbar. We'll crack the thing open."
That was the manager.
It was the landlord, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other guy was a cop.
The other
Yeah.
guy's a
With his
cop.
wife.
Yeah. And the wife's even like, yeah, we've been thinking about getting a new fridge too. We really want to see it.
It was really, really funny, this part. And he's
Like,
like,
worst case scenario for this guy who
Yeah.
does not like to talk to people at all.
yeah, and he's like frantically trying to get this giant crate into his room. And when the neighbor comes out with the screwdriver and crowbar, he just like shoves it in there and shuts the door on his neighbor's face. Good scene.
But it,
That
looks like the Frankenstein crate.
it does look
Yes,
like
yeah.
Frankenstein's crate. Yes,
A
it.
lot of Frankenstein elements to this film.
Yeah, I have to say that scene was really well done. I did like that. That to me was a nice little touch.
Did we make note that his neighbor was a detective for LAPD?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, it goes back to American Psycho. I need to go return some
Gotta
videotapes.
go return some videotapes. So now Kenneth is taking the doll out of the box, and he does it so creepily and meticulously. It's uncomfortable watching him open this box.
Yes.
He
He doesn't even wash it.
no,
Just takes it
no.
out. and
Well,
goes to
I
town.
put a note here that they do show him unscrewing the box with a screwdriver, or I mean a drill, which is very ironic since he's going to be screwing the doll and he's unscrewing the box and it shows that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was,
A lot of
I
symbolism.
thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. So he gets the doll out, sets it on his bed, and then he decides to have sex with this doll.
We're not going to talk about the foam balls. Why? And they were in his mouth.
Oh, kissing her and spitting out the foam.
What
That's
was the
insane.
point of the foam balls?
Probably watch that damn
Disgusting.
thing before you
I
freaking
would-
go at it.
That was what I said to Nicole. I was like, well, I would have watched that thing. I don't know where that's been.
Did she watch it with you?
She was next to me and like just rolling her eyes.
We got to get her on here one day. She's gonna have to watch
I
one of
know.
these things.
I'm sure you were sitting here saying, "You want to try this? Can I build one of these?"
So Kenneth has sex with the doll, and then comes, I think, another one of my favorite scenes. Like right after he's done having sex with the doll, he's on the phone with him trying to return the doll.
Yeah, but the
Well,
best line of the
well,
movie.
you missed.
Yeah,
you said
it's
he just
been
like pushed
used.
it off the fucking bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just shoves it off the bed.
I'm not satisfied. Well, did you use it, sir? Yes, it was used.
Yeah, it was
All
used.
right.
Yes, it's used.
Okay, I understand. Oh God, like, yeah. That was pretty good. I think I skipped a bunch here too. Maybe I.
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
Just keep going.
So
Just keep going.
Kenneth ends up like almost like bonding with this doll, and I did put that I thought it was pretty funny to see him waking up next to the doll, and like how the doll looks like it's like curled up under the covers and everything, like a person.
Well, you did forget he found the instruction manual to fully tap into the resources of how to properly use.
Oh,
this
that's
doll.
right, and he's got those
Yeah.
pages now all over his walls, and yeah.
Then he
And
starts.
I like the one thing with the
In
hand
real life.
kept on flying up in the air.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
the
forgot.
spring-loaded arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Spring loaded, yeah.
Yeah.
For hand jobs.
He opens the arm up, and yeah, it comes up and almost like hits him. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So real.
Okay, so now, as Bub said earlier, now you like the people at work are starting to notice Kenneth's demeanor's changing. He's like happier at work.
He's getting his shit
getting
done,
his
too.
work done and everything. Yeah, and Kenneth sees Lisa is learning to dance, so he builds a giant sex swing to practice dancing with the sex doll.
Waltzing.
Waltzing.
Yeah.
You forgot about Lisa getting fired.
Oh, did that already happen too?
Yeah, Lisa was getting fired because they were falling behind on volume 1. Because Kenneth was always on time, always getting his work done. He was falling behind because he was spending so much time with the sex doll, Nikki.
Gotcha.
So then she got fired, and then he came in and got her hired back, and then started spending time with her after hours. And then that's when he noticed
That she was
when she worked on that magazine, Zines or whatever it was called. He saw the piece, so he saved it and started reading it, and that's when he started building all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, making her more like Lisa. Well, making
Exactly.
her like Lisa.
So as Kenneth,
You missed home carpentry instruction manual.
It's all
as
about the instruction manual.
Building that big old sex swing.
And he also mentions when they're alone that, or she mentions that she's, if she ever went missing, that nobody would realize it. Like she's not a real person, just like an instruction manual.
Mhm.
oh damn, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said we're all tools. When you work for a job, you're just basically tools, unlike school and all this. Like she had a whole conversation about that.
Yeah, and then she references the whole, everybody has a VCR out there that's blinking at
Right.
12 a.m.
Okay.
because they don't read the instruction manual.
So as Kenneth bonds with Lisa, he starts adjusting the sex doll to like look more and
Mimic.
more like Lisa. Like uncomfortably. It's beginning to look like her.
This is when you start getting uncomfortable.
no.
We all have our limits, bub. We have our thresholds.
My next note is another part that I did find very, very funny is when Kenneth is eating dinner with the doll and then watching TV like they're on a date. And it
Oh, dude, I
reminded
lost it when he goes, "Do you want to go to the movies with me?" I'm like, dude, I swear to God, if it shows him at the movie theaters with her, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And it was in the
Yeah.
living room, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Jesus.
Like that's any better.
So now, I think this is the point where the doll starts to notice that Kenneth is around Lisa more, because my next note, I put I
You
thought it,
skipped hella far
Yeah.
with what?
with the dinner scene.
What did I miss?
Chinese food.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of notes here.
Good.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking. You missed like her buying clothes that look like
Yeah.
Lisa.
That hasn't happened
he
yet.
gets- yeah,
Yeah, because he takes Lisa out to start buying clothes and getting her hair cut and everything.
no, I'm talking about for Nikki, not for
Right.
Lisa.
Yeah, I just summed that up as he started making the doll look more and more like her.
Okay,
Oh.
and then he got promoted and all that.
Well, 'cause I had-
And that's when he starts working more and more with Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so no,
because we
I have
had
another
the
note
first.
before he gets promoted, guys.
Wait.
Oh.
Okay. Wait.
So-
Wait. Because you had the first instance of her moving on her own, where he goes to sleep with Nikki still sitting in the chair, and
Yeah.
then wakes up with her in the bed, cuffed to him.
That was my
Yeah.
next note, guys.
okay, but that was before the shopping scene. So
That
where the
was
fuck are
before-
you?
Yeah, that was before that.
I just said Kenneth bonds with Lisa as he starts adjusting the sex doll to look more and more like her.
Okay.
Okay,
then
but
my
the
next note-
dress shop thing happens after that.
Yeah, I know. You guys are all over the place. My notes.
You're all over the place. You're
Jesus
jumping
Christ.
ahead.
No, the sex doll's handcuffed to Kenneth. That, like
And then
you
he
just
gets
said.
promoted.
And then he gets promoted. That's my next note.
Okay.
So what?
I love when he's walking to the office wearing the cuff, and somehow everybody notices.
Yeah.
Right?
it. Everyone sees that.
So then after
He's
he
the editor
gets
now.
after he gets promoted, this is when the doll starts like he thinks the doll's like talking to him and shit, like
Calling
him,
Has a
and
knife.
yeah, and he comes home after he thinks the
That
doll's
shit was terrifying.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at the dress shop, the lady at the dress shop also has a burn. That's burn person number 4. Continue. Continue, Jay, please. Go ahead. You may have the floor.
Yeah, I haven't
Missed
got
all this burning.
So the doll cuts up pictures and notes with a knife in Kenneth's house when he comes home.
Yes.
So he's like apologizing to her about spending all that time with Lisa and everything. At this point, he takes Lisa out to get her shopping. And that's when I wrote on here, Lisa is starting to appear more and more like a doll after she gets her hair cut and gets a dress.
The shopping
But,
happens.
the
before
transformation is
that's
starting
the
to get
pictures, but
scary.
it's all good.
It's starting to get scary. And then the next thing is it's very apparent because now it's Kenneth and the doll are sitting on the couch, but on opposite ends of the couch. And Kenneth asks the doll to see other people.
Right.
All right.
That's our next note.
Bad breakup.
Yeah. Movies with mannequins. We should see other people.
I liked how when he was talking to her and stuff, like the light would flicker on the doll,
Mhm.
like it was communicating, but you don't know what the hell was being
Terrifying.
said.
Yeah. So
Is this when he becomes a submissive to her?
yes, that's
Oh
my
my God,
next note
yeah.
too. My next note. Kenneth is wearing a sex slave outfit and calls the company, "There's something wrong with your doll."
How do you turn
Coming,
it off?
honey.
Oh,
But you know
God.
what? And you notice through this whole thing, he hasn't changed his clothes either.
Yeah.
He's wearing
That's
the
when he-
exact same thing through the whole movie.
Well, you saw
That's
his
when he's-
closet, right? It was all the same clothes.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
the sex scene, he didn't even take his clothes off.
Yeah, that's when he sneaks away to go see Lisa at work, and then they have like that intimate conversation, and then he goes back and puts her in the freaking back in the box.
Yeah. And I
So
think
I fell asleep.
I think this could be Martin. Correct me if I'm wrong. He puts the doll back in the box now because he wants to be with Lisa, and this is where he wakes up and the doll is strangling him. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What happens after that? Because then my next note, like, I definitely skipped something on the next thing. Because then my next
That's
note,
when it goes back to him at work, and Novak, the boss, is asking him if he thinks she has what it takes to be a tech writer. And then he finally works up the courage to ask her out when they're leaving work.
mm-hmm.
And then he goes, Chinese food. And then she goes, is that all you eat?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, no, just like a regular psychopath, like no emotion. Like,
But then,
Yeah.
just
but
like-
then it was the one with the bondage technical support. That was always funny when he was calling these guys and talking to them.
what?
And then as soon as he starts transforming Lisa and she's at the office, then all the dudes are all hanging around with her and everything else.
Yeah.
That one part where then the boss comes out and the guys are all, oh, they're all looking around like then they're walking away from her.
Yeah. So on the date Kenneth and Lisa go on, she says they should try something new, so they have Indian food.
Yeah.
The date goes well, and he goes to drop her off at her house, and she invites him in. And he uses his smooth moves to dance with her. He like slips a CD in.
I was a little confused at that because I thought that was a different date. Like it cut to them at the movies. So I don't know if that was a different date. Like there was like a time lapse where like they went out like multiple times and
it was
then they
all
went
the
back
same
to
night.
her house. It was the same date.
Yeah.
I
long date.
I thought it was the same date.
I
I
couldn't.
think it was
I
dinner
couldn't
and a
tell.
movie.
And this is when so the dancing scores big because they're gonna hook up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
we
it turns into strip waltzing.
Yeah, we get to meet her guardian angel.
So then you find out that Lisa has her tongue pierced, and she has, as Martin put, a guardian angel, which is an angel tattoo under her breast.
Her left breast.
Left breast, yeah. Like right under the nipple. It's like
And Kenneth doesn't like that. He puts that shit
No.
back up. He covers it right back up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't on Nikki, so.
they're getting freaky, and Kenneth has a bit of a freak out. And
Start seeing Nikki shoving his ass in the box.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's when he looks over and sees the VCR blinking at 12.
12.
So then he's like, I'm disposable. I don't know what the irony for that was, but
He was in trouble.
yeah.
So then Lisa notices that that sexually he's kind of having some issues, and he kind of packs up shop and leaves. And then
takes it out on Nikki.
yeah, he goes home and starts yelling at Nikki and stabs Nikki.
Pierces her tongue with a drill and then stabs her where the guardian angel would be.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then he
And at this point, the manager is getting suspicious who lives next door because he's hearing all these
yeah.
weird freaking noises.
Yeah, but then
coming
he
from
starts
there.
hearing the battery-powered skill saw.
Yeah.
So that was the next part, is that then after he stabs the doll and like Martin said, the neighbor I think calls him to make sure
Yeah.
everything's going okay. He doesn't answer, and it's like this weird quiet thing where they like don't do anything, and then Kenneth puts on classical music and throws the doll in the shower and starts taking a skill saw to her and cutting off the pieces. Next comes another very hilarious scene. The neighbor looks through the peephole and sees Kenneth carrying all these little garbage bags that look like body parts out of his apartment. He's dropping them and fumbling them around. It is very funny to see. And the neighbor is
He
just
just
like,
dropped the head.
yeah, and the neighbor is like, "Oh my god!" He's just like, "I think this guy just killed somebody."
I love throughout the movie too. They go, "Oh yeah, Ken is such a stand-up guy," and then it would cut to him like doing something horrible, like all the time.
This
So
movie's actually turned out to be pretty good.
my rating actually might go up. The funny parts were pretty well done. So it's Lisa comes into his office the next day and he apologizes for what happened and tells her that he was in a. Oh no, he goes to Lisa's house in the morning.
Yeah.
And apologizes for what happened and says he was in like a toxic relationship with a girl named Nikki. And then they go for it again, and I guess he was successful this time.
Yay!
Way to go,
Yeah,
Kenneth.
I gotta find those swings on the beach. That looked pretty fun.
Yeah. So then Lisa is in Kenneth's office, and they're looking through one of the volumes they completed. And when she's going through the pages, the Nikki sex doll flyer falls out of the pages. And that's when she starts putting the pieces together and realizes that...
Well, the picture is her.
Yeah.
The picture is her.
Yeah.
Same suit.
Same suit.
Clothes,
yeah.
Haircut,
Same haircut and everything. Yeah. So she, like, that just creates a giant spiral. And so she breaks up with Kenneth, and then Kenneth starts losing.
Flagging.
Yeah, he's starts, all these different things happen because he starts doing bad in his work, and then he tries to call the sex doll place again to get another sex doll. And
By saying their instruction manual's out of date and they need some updates. So if you could send us a doll for reference.
Yeah. I can help you update your instruction manual. They don't go for it.
No, really?
Kenneth ends up getting fired, and he asks for... I think upon him getting fired, he still asks for that bonus he was supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I still get the bonus? No, he doesn't get the bonus. So he's waiting outside the office for Lisa to come out there. And when Lisa shows up, he tries to talk to her. She doesn't want to listen to him, wants no part of Kenneth. Kenneth ends up like attacking her, and she ends up like, I think he rips part of her shirt and she hits her head on the wall, right?
On the ground.
On the ground. Okay. So then he carries her to his apartment where the neighbor / landlord sees that he's carrying a woman into his room.
But this is after he'd just seen the ad for the Nikki doll. Because he saw that the company was the same company that Kenneth ordered the fridge from.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. The neighbor sees
that's
that.
That's how he.
Then he was even
together.
more confused.
So I put down here.
Yeah.
I put down here like Kenneth's starting to lose it because now he has kidnapped Lisa. The landlord sees this, grabs his master set of keys, and sneaks over to. Wait, no.
He calls the.
I was gonna say he
detective.
calls the cop first, and the cop. This cop is amazing. He doesn't give two shits about it, and he's playing a video game where you just hear shooting going on in the background.
I like how he keeps referencing like his wife or his girlfriend, but we never see her again.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh yeah.
She did not like this movie and wanted her bonus paid out.
She did the first scene with him, and then she's like, "I'm not coming back."
I'm not coming back. This is terrible. So after that, the police officer really didn't care. Didn't even take the call seriously.
Hey, it was off duty.
I know. I think this cop, I don't even know his name. I think he is my favorite character of the movie. I'm just telling you guys that.
His name's Detective Martin.
Detective Martin.
I said, oh.
And the fact that you see who his partner is even better.
I know.
Spoiler alert, his partner's Michael Pena. So the landlord takes his master set of keys, goes over to Kenneth's house, lets himself in, and when he's trying to get in, Kenneth hears it and runs off, and I think he shuts all the lights off too.
Yeah.
So when he comes in, he sees Lisa in the dark, and he goes over, and she's like, he's right here, and Kenneth comes around the corner and hits the landlord in the head with a hammer.
Jesus.
Multiple times.
And then my next note, Kenneth goes full American Psycho.
Yep, that's what I got right there.
And chops up the landlord in the tub.
Even the blood splattering on his face is literally like a direct scene from American Psycho.
Yeah.
Like his face.
So there's a part that I did skip. When he cut up the sex doll, he went and threw the sex doll in this dumpster.
Yeah.
Because now the next scene is you see these cops finding the landlord's body in this dumpster, and they say, oh, somebody else did this with a sex doll, almost like they were practicing for this moment.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
this guy's a mastermind.
This guy's a mastermind. Yeah, this Detective Martin has cracked the case. He goes,
Before that is when he puts her in the box.
okay, I had that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I did skip that. I thought this part came first. So yeah, Kenneth packs Lisa up in the sex doll box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he he dresses her and like does a bunch of creepy shit, and then that's when she gets over to the computer and sends all the creepy stuff he had about preserving bodies and stuff on his computer to the print shop.
She sent that.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, she sent it. She got over to the computer and sent that, and then that's when he put her in the box because he was all pissed.
Yeah, and she kept saying that they were gonna find her at work, and he said no because he submitted the paperwork. So it was like she had said, Martin, that you brought up before. Nobody's gonna even know she's gone. I don't even remember how many days she'd been gone from work.
Yeah, he makes that quote.
Now, why did the detective think to go ask Kenneth a question?
Because
he knew that he was the neighbor to the landlord.
Neighbor to the landlord. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And like Pena goes, "Oh, should we go look or like do anything?" And he's like, I don't know. That guy seems like an average Joe." And then it cuts back to him.
Yeah, he goes, he's a nice guy.
Drain all of her blood.
There's no hurry. I think the last line before he cuts to Kenneth is, "There's no hurry. We don't need to hurry up and get there."
There's no hurry. The guy's already dead.
Joe.
Yeah, that's what he said. Let's get lunch or some shit.
Yeah.
So now we start to become privy to the plan here is Kenneth is trying to turn Lisa into a sex doll. He has all these hookups.
And at this point he's covered with burns.
Oh, and can I say what my favorite quote was and should be our shirt? Is when he is doing all that, he like leans down to her and goes, "Relationships come and go, but PlayStation is forever."
That's
shit.
That's literally the quote listed on IMDb.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Yeah.
You know, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so then this is when Lisa escapes from her harness thing, and she gets Kenneth in the box. Okay. This.
Yeah, but he'd already started changing the blood with formaldehyde.
Yeah,
in her.
Yeah, he started.
No,
to.
he hadn't started that yet. He was trying to drain her blood first.
And he went to go put the thing in her, and that's when she took it and put it into him. And then
Right,
she was able to get him put down into the box. And then this, guys, is my favorite part of the movie. I loved this part. She was thinking of keeping him alive, and then she's like, no. Like, she, like, realizes, no, I have to kill Kenneth. Like, he cannot be left alive. And she goes to hit him with the hammer or stab him? Which one is it?
No, she's
she
got
was
that
The thing, the
embalmer
embalmer thing.
in her
Okay.
hand.
She has it up, and that's when the worst cops ever show up, finally. It is my favorite part of the movie. They kick open the door, don't ask questions, and fucking just blast Lisa.
Well,
Why are they going in guns a-blazing
that,
already?
so she's gonna kill him.
Oh my god, dude. I thought that was the best part of the movie. He's just like, boom! Oh shit!
He unloaded his clip on her.
Dude, yeah! Didn't ask any questions. It was so great.
Why were they already busting through though? Like, was there a reason?
Because they
World's
could hear,
worst
Get
cops.
into the place at all, and they just busted right through the door.
It was
they could hear
amazing.
her screaming because she was like,
What?
"I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Oh, right, yeah.
Because think about it, the manager could hear through his wall. Just imagine
Right.
walking past the freaking thing.
I like to
Thin walls.
believe Detective Martin just likes to make an entrance. He didn't hear the screaming. It's just like boom. So then this is a nice twist that I did appreciate. Lisa is then convicted of everything. She
So the
was
cops are walking around the room, and they see the things on the wall,
Mhm.
and it says Manhunter and all this type of stuff, so they totally nail her.
It was
Mhm.
such a brilliant way to end the movie that Kenneth gets away. He gets his old job back and he's living life. He
Gets his bonus.
he gets his bonus.
Yeah, Rip Torn was great in the ending scenes.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sailor.
Yeah. And he gives him his bonus and he spends all the bonus on another sex doll.
Mhm.
And then that's when the cycle looks like it's going to start again because the movie ends with Kenneth going to buy flowers for Nikki, and this very pretty flower girl says how lucky a girl Nikki is. And then all of a sudden Kenneth starts to like get the creepy looks for the flower girl.
Fuck, that was rough.
Guys,
Is that it?
that is the end of Love Object. I want it out of my head forever. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
God. But can we just talk about how wonderful the theme song was for this movie and how that's going to be on my relaxation playlist?
Oh, the thing on
So
the menu?
every time you go to LA, you're gonna hear this song.
The piano theme song?
Yeah.
For relaxation.
Ding,
What I was saying to you guys earlier is that I understand what they were trying to do, because like in Hitchcock would do stuff like this where they would try and transform somebody into another person. They did that in Vertigo and some of that stuff. So I think they were trying to kind of grasp, other than with American Psycho and all those things, they were really grasping at ideas that other people have already used.
Yeah,
And just trying to make another story out of it.
Yeah. So
they shouldn't have.
yeah, I have a couple 5-star reviews on this and one 1-star review on it. Like I said, this movie is very beloved. A lot of 5-star reviews. But this is from the Reverend Terry Rice. I think there's a little of us all in this movie. I'm not going to be like the other reviewers and give you a plot outline or try to sound like Siskel or Ebert or whoever replaced the dead one, or try to sound overly smart. I'm just a fan of movies and a fan of the strange. This movie is definitely strange, sick, and twisted. It has one of the best endings a low-budget thriller has had in a few years. Yeah, a lot of people can badmouth this film, but I think everyone who has ever been so lonely they couldn't stand it or rejected by the ones they admire will find a warm place in this film. Just give it a chance. It's insane. I feel bad for the guy. 5 stars.
So basically, the 5-star reviews are people who own sex dolls.
Yeah. Is that a? You said
Or
that's a
extremely
reverend?
lonely.
Reverend Terry Rice.
Yeah, Reverend.
Man,
Right, yeah.
that's really sick.
Here's okay. This is from Sal Paradise. This is another 5-star review.
God.
Interesting kind of horror film. This film caught me by surprise, even though I basically knew the entire plot within the first 10 minutes. There are a lot of issues that are brought up with this film, namely the terrible idea of women being regarded as objects to be put away like, well, dolls for amusement. And that some things can't really be purchased, though we certainly like to think they can be. The protagonist, Harrington, becomes obsessed with a coworker and the doll becomes jealous, or at least he has the delusions the doll is jealous and is actively seeking to ruin his relations with a woman. When purchases, I don't know, there's like a typo here. When purchases the very expensive doll, it services all of his needs, but then he meets a real woman who captures his fancy and he starts trying in his awkward way to win her over, but he imagines the doll is insanely jealous and trying to sabotage his efforts at a real relationship. And that's when the mayhem starts. I won't go into the whole plot, but a guy gets cut up in a bathtub. A definite must-see, even though the later mentioned scene is too short. 5 stars.
These are really lonely people.
No, they're not. They have sex dolls.
Yeah, they have sex dolls. They're lonely people.
This 1-star review is by Sexy Love.
All right, this should be good.
What a tasteless movie and boring. Love Object is tasteless and boring and not worth watching or even renting. If you can try to avoid this movie.
That's it? That was it?
That's it.
Are you serious?
I have another 1-star review if you guys want to hear it. It's by A.
Yes.
Moreland. Terrible. This movie is terrible. It is about a guy who buys a sex doll and totally flips out on this woman whom he created the sex doll to look just like. I don't recommend that anyone sit through this movie.
I agree.
That's it?
So, guys, we heard what other people think about it. Dad, how many stars are you going to give Love Object?
You always do this to me first.
You don't have to go first. We can start with Amber since it's her pick.
No, I'll go. That's fine. I'm going to give it 2.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 2 stars. And the only reason why is because of the last 15 or 20 minutes. Other than that, it just went on and on. I mean, you understood kind of what was going on and everything, but until it got to the end where all the characters became kind of real, and then the twist happens and all that, and the weirdness at the end, that was kind of entertaining. But it was really just the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, Amber?
I'm going to give it a solid 3, just right in the middle. Because I think that movie is just so kooky. It's just, yeah,
Kooky.
It's out of left field. Kooky.
But it is terrifying because that crap happens.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally believe that something like that would happen in some suburbia somewhere. But, yeah.
Okay, Bub.
All right, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars.
Whoa! Jesus
Wow.
It was a perfect combination of American Psycho with the movie The Room with Tommy Wiseau, where it's just so bad, trying to be like they really thought they were trying to do something with this film, and it was so horrible to watch, but funny at the same time because you're just like, man, they. Like the scenes where they're like really acting their hearts out, they're acting their hearts out. And you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I thought it was creepy with the stuff with the doll. Like by far the creepiest thing we've watched so far, like in my opinion.
Because the doll was creepy. When they did the close-ups of the hands.
The doll did
and all
look
that.
creepy, yeah.
We didn't even talk about the part that he he basically visualized Lisa as Nikki chasing him through the parking structure.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
That
forgot
whole
about
time,
that.
I'm like, really? He's not gonna stop there with that group of people,
Yeah.
and like, he just runs past them like it's just a doll chasing me.
then visualizes Nikki while he's having sex with Lisa the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it was crazy. It reminded me a lot of The Room. How, I mean, just talking about it, we were laughing at so many things, and I think it'd be one of those where you watch as a group, like, and just basically laugh at the mistakes and just how weird it is.
Okay, Martin, how many
I,
stars?
I see the cult following behind it.
Yeah, there is a big cult following behind this.
I mean, this makes me want to increase my stars on Clownado. I give it a 1. Terrible. Just because of the ending. Otherwise, I'd give it a 0. At least it had something that, I mean, there was a climax finally.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I thought the movie was really bad. There were some parts that I did find very funny. And to be perfectly honest, Bub actually changed my mind because I had it at a 0.5. And then and Bub talking about how, like, because how realistic this is, that you could know somebody that's actually like this. And when he was talking about how creepy that would actually be, I was like, okay, yeah, that does make it a little bit more creepy. So I'm going to give it a 1.5 because of what Bub said early on in the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
About here changing minds.
That's what we do here, is change people's minds.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, next question. Does Love Object have a chance if we cast, like, Tom Hanks as Kenneth and
I would not do Tom Hanks. That's a bad pick.
Yeah, that is a bad.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, like, let's say it's Cillian Murphy as Kenneth and
Or how about Robert England?
Jesus, he's too old now. I don't think he could do that.
Yeah, he could
Oh.
still work.
What's that guy that's Mr. Robot?
Oh, yeah, that would be a good guy.
Because
But you
he's
know what?
creepy.
It's not
going
going
to
to help.
Stone
It's
face.
not going to help.
It's not going to help.
It's not gonna
I think it could if you had a better cast, a bigger budget, and
Tom Hanks
actually
couldn't
made
save this
stuff
movie.
scarier.
Man, I don't know.
I think it could really be.
Yeah,
a
I don't think
powerhouse.
so either.
No. This movie.
All I know is that if I would have seen this before I watched Dexter, because the main guy, I can't remember the actor's name, but I just know.
Michael C.
Michael
Hall.
C. Hall.
Yeah, he's in Dexter as Detective Quinn, and I'm glad I hadn't seen this movie before I watched that, because I would have looked at him totally differently.
Yeah, I don't think a bigger budget could save this thing. I think it's too bizarre. I don't think you'd get to see.
It had a pretty good sized budget.
Dude,
I know.
yeah,
Yeah,
but okay.
there was too much copycatting of other movies. I mean, we all picked things out from this movie that we obviously had seen or recognized in other movies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Ryan Gosling had a movie where he was in love with a mannequin. And
There was a blow-up doll.
well, the movie didn't
So
make
did
that much
Andrew
money.
McCarthy.
So I'm just saying Ryan Gosling couldn't save this movie. Like, there's no way.
No.
I think the story is too terrible to. You could get the biggest actor. Chris Pratt could not save this movie. Like there's just no. This movie has its cult following, and I think that's what it is. I don't think big budget's gonna do anything for this.
You know who they could cast now for this movie would be Will Smith, because these are the movies he can be making.
Yeah, well, Will Smith. That'll be our next question after big budget. Would Will Smith make this movie better? That's gonna be our next
Get
always-
my
these are the
name
movies he's
out
gonna
your
have to
fucking
do.
mouth.
Wow.
I think it's just it's strange that this literally came out the same year as The Room. I don't know if this came before or after, but the
a
fact
good
that
thing to find out.
there's two movies like this that happened the same year, but one of them exploded and one kind of stayed under the radar is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So next episode, we are going to be talking. We're gonna go back, guys. We're gonna go back all the way to 1959. We're gonna do our first black and white episode, and streaming right now on Amazon Prime for all those people watching, the giant Gila monster. A giant lizard terrorizes a rural Texas community with a heroic teenager attempting to destroy the creature.
Great
Riveting.
movie.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Great movie.
So that's what we got going on next week. Yeah, guys. So this movie was terrible. I think we all agree Amber won.
That's what we're going
Amber won.
for.
She picked the worst movie. There's no comparison. She lost her privilege to pick her movie next time.
Oh, shut up.
And
I already have my next pick.
so, guys, if you're watching us
Do
on,
we have to buy it?
yeah, no more movies
Good.
that you have to buy. We're not
Nobody
doing that
else
anymore.
bought it except us. We were supposed to watch it together.
Excuse me.
I felt like I bought it.
Yeah, it was terrible. If you guys are watching on YouTube, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe. It helps out the channel. If you're listening to us on a podcast form, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. It'll help us out. And
Or 1 star, and we'll read it off.
And 1 star. We'll read the 1 stars and the 5 stars. So keep in mind, and we have
Nothing in between.
nothing in between. We also, if you guys want to help us fight evil on other platforms, we're on the Twitter. You can follow us at Nerds vs. Evil. Same with TikTok. And yeah, guys, there's plenty of ways to help us fight evil. But thank you for helping us fight evil this week. We really needed your help, guys, on this one. This was a rough one. And join us next week as we continue the fight. See you then.